鹰抓派。
Eagleclaw Kung Fu is an ancient Chinese martial arts style known for its grappling techniques, joint control, takedowns, and pressure point strikes. It is characterized by the use of explosive movements, fluid footwork, and the formation of claw-like hands. Its objective is to immobilize, control, and destabilize the opponent in hand-to-hand combat. The Eagleclaw style of Kung Fu is one of the martial arts disciplines that was introduced through the Hong Kong Martial Arts Circle, and from there gained popularity across the globe. This style is generally attributed to the famous Song Dynasty patriotic general Yue Fei. According to folk legend, he learned martial arts from a Wudang monk named Zhou Tong and later developed the Eagleclaw style to strengthen his troops in the fight against the invading armies of the Jin dynasty. The style survived into the Ming dynasty when it incorporated long-distance striking techniques and acrobatic leaps. During the Qing dynasty, military instructor Liu Shijun emerged as the founding figure of the modern Eagleclaw style, training numerous disciples. Among them was Liu Chengyu, who in turn trained Chen Zizheng, a distinguished master who was invited to teach this martial art at the prestigious Qinwu Athletic Association during the Republican era. Thanks to the expansion of Qinwu, which established affiliated schools in various provinces, the style became widely disseminated. Today, it is practiced in numerous countries around the world.
Although the details vary depending on who tells the story, as is common in oral traditions, where names and places often change over time, the essence of Eagleclaw's origins dates back to the Shaolin Temple and Chinese military training practices. over the centuries, it became established as a family tradition, passed down from generation to generation within certain lineages. It eventually lost its reserved and exclusive character with the emergence of public martial arts schools, which opened their doors to the general public and allowed for its widespread dissemination.
The Eagleclaw method is usually attributed to General Yue Fei, 1103 to 1141, who lived during a period marked by fighting between the southern Song dynasty and the Jurchen tribes of the Jin dynasty. Although he could read and write, young Yue Fei opted for a military career as his family lacked a deep-rooted tradition of Confucian civil service. However, the Yue family's financial situation was so precarious that they could not afford military tuition for their son. His maternal grandfather, Yao De Wang, took the initiative and hired Master Chen Guang to teach the 11-year-old boy how to use the Chinese spear. Later, after he had quickly mastered the weapon by the age of 13, a wandering swordsman named Zhou Tong was hired to instruct him in the art of archery, thus continuing his martial training. No biography of Yue Fei mentions that he learned Kung Fu as a child, but martial arts researcher Stanley Henning states, "It is almost certain that Yue practiced some form of bare-handed fighting as a foundation for weapon use." However, he does not venture to guess whether any of his teachers or someone else taught him Kung Fu. Despite this lack of historical evidence, many modern martial arts masters have assigned this role to Zhou Tong. For instance, internal stylist Yang Jwingming claims that Zhou was a scholar trained at the famous Shaolin Temple and that he later taught Yue skills beyond archery, including various internal and external martial arts. Yang believes this training eventually led to the creation of Eagleclaw and Xingyi, another style associated with the general. Yang's account, however, omits the spearmaster Chen Guang entirely and mistakenly presents Zhou as Yue's sole teacher. Eagleclaw proponent Liang Shom does the same, even going so far as to claim that Zhou was a fully ordained Shaolin monk who trained Yue Fei within the temple itself. Liang believes Zhou taught him the elephant style, which the general later expanded into the 108 blocking hand techniques, or Ying Zhao, eagle hand. Yet, there is no evidence that Zhou was ever associated with the Shaolin Temple. In summary, while it is reasonable to assume Yue Fei received some form of unarmed combat training, specific attributions to Zhou Tong, particularly his connection to Shaolin or his role as a teacher of internal styles, lack historical foundation and appear to be modern martial arts traditions retroactively projected onto history.
Biographies of the general make no mention of him creating any martial styles of his own. Historian Meir Shahar notes that Yue Fei's appearance in the second preface of the Muscle/Tendon Changing Classic, 1624, sparked a wave of references to the patriotic hero in later military literature. He adds, by the 18th century, Yue Fei was credited with inventing Xingyi Quan, and by the 19th century, he was also associated with the 8 brocades and various weapon techniques. However, the 10 compilations on the cultivation of perfection, circa 1300, attribute the creation of the 8 brocades to 2 of the 8 immortals, specifically Xingyi Quan and Lu Tongpin.